औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। आज हमने प्रपोजिशंस शुरू करनी है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 है एक्सरसाइज नंबर 23 का, प्लीज़ एब्सटेन फ्राम स्मोकिंग। एब्सटेन के साथ जो है फ्राम आता है, एब्सटेन फ्राम, प्लीज़ एब्सटेन फ्राम स्मोकिंग। शी इज़ वेन ऑफ हर ब्यूटी, वेन ऑफ, शी इज़ वेन ऑफ हर ब्यूटी। ही अलाइंड फ्राम द हॉर्स, अलाइंड फ्राम होता है, सॉरी अलाइटेड फ्राम होता है, ही अलाइटेड फ्राम द हॉर्स। आई स्वेयर बाय गॉड, आई स्वेयर बाय गॉड, स्वेयर बाय होता है। ऑल वर अलार्म्ड एट द न्यूज़, अलार्म्ड एट होता है, ऑल वर अलार्म्ड एट द न्यूज़। ही इज़ नॉट एंटाइटल्ड टू वोट, ही इज़ नॉट एंटाइटल्ड टू वोट, नॉट एंटाइटल्ड टू होता है, ही इज़ नॉट एंटाइटल्ड टू। ही शुड नॉट बी इग्नोरेंट ऑफ, इग्नोरेंट ऑफ होता है, यू शुड नॉट बी इग्नोरेंट ऑफ लॉ। नेक्स्ट सवाल है, शी इज़ प्रोफिशेंट इन, प्रोफिशेंट इन होता है, शी इज़ प्रोफिशेंट इन इंग्लिश। ही इज़ ब्लाइंड इन वन आई, ब्लाइंड इन, ही इज़ ब्लाइंड इन वन आई। लिसन टू माई लेक्चर, लिसन टू। आई propose to, I propose to deposit $56 every month, I propose to deposit $56 every month. She was yelling at, she was yelling at her servant. He is not entitled to vote, entitled to, he is not entitled to vote. Do not boast of your riches, boast of, do not boast of your riches. This area is notorious for sandstorms, notorious for, this area is notorious for sandstorms. She congratulated me on my success, congratulated on, he congratulated me on my success. Can't you give up smoking, give up, can't you give up smoking? Eggs are sold by, eggs are sold by the dozen, eggs are sold by the dozen. He aimed at, aimed at, he aimed at the bird and fired. We should abide by the law, we should abide by the law. He glanced at me, he glanced at me casually, he glanced at me casually. Don't laugh at your elders, laugh at, don't laugh at your elders. I cannot part with my books, I cannot part with my books, part with, I cannot part with my books. Don't meddle with, meddle with my books, don't meddle with my books. He is blind to, blind to his weakness, he is blind to his weakness. Who is responsible for this accident, responsible for, we pray to Allah, we pray to Allah. The writer wanted to get rid of his books, rid of, get rid of. The writer wanted to get rid of his books. He availed himself of his opportunity, himself of, sorry, availed of, he availed himself of this opportunity. You must abide by the law of the country, abide by, you must abide by the laws of the country. I am obliged to him, obliged to, I am obliged to him. He was deprived of his wealth, deprived of, he was deprived of his wealth. Rabia is grieved at her husband's death, Rabia is grieved at her husband's death. He is addicted to heroin, addicted to, he is addicted to heroin. He called on at my home, at my house, he called on, he called on me at my house. He is leaning against the pillar, he is leaning, sorry, leaning against, he is leaning against the pillar. He is vain of his strength, he is vain of his strength, he is vain of his strength. He insisted me on going to Lahore, insisted me on, insisted me on going to Lahore, insisted on, he insisted me on going to Lahore. America is at war with Afghanistan, at war with, War with. America is at war with Afghanistan. We lost the match by 50 runs. Lost by. We lost the match by 50 runs. What has become of your friend? What has become of your friend? Become of. What has become of your friend? I am satisfied with his performance. Satisfied with his performance. He was brought up by his uncle. Brought up by his uncle. She takes after her mother. Takes after. She takes after her mother. We discussed it in detail. Discussed in. We discussed it in detail. नेक्स्ट सवाल है, असलम इज़ एडिक्टेड टू स्मोकिंग. एडिक्टेड टू स्मोकिंग. लाहौर इज़ फेमस फॉर गार्डन्स. लाहौर इज़ फेमस फॉर गार्डन्स. दिस रोड लीड्स टू सरगोदा. लीड्स टू. दिस रोड लीड्स टू सरगोदा. द चेयरमैन presided over the meeting. Presided over. The chairman presided over the meeting. Morning walk is useful for health. Useful for health. I don't agree to your suggestion. Agree to. I don't agree to your suggestion. My friend acceded to my request. Acceded to my request. My friend acceded to my request. I am getting late for college. I am getting late for college. He was charged with theft. He was run over by a car. He was run over by a car. The principal gave away prizes. The table is being laid for tea. Laid for. Charity begins at home. Charity begins at home. She often boasts of her wealth. Boasts of boasts of her wealth. She often boasts of her wealth. He was charged with theft. Charged with theft. He is not interested in studies. Interested in studies. Why do you disapprove of everything I do? Disapprove of. Why do you disapprove of everything I do? We should abide by the law. Abide by. We should abide by the law. He was shivering with cold. Shivering with. He was shivering with cold. Ahmed has been suffered from fever. Suffering from. Ahmed has been suffering from fever. He has great command of English. She was brought up by her uncle. She was brought up by her uncle. I am vexed with him. Vexed with him. नेक्स्ट सवाल है, ही इज़ लैम इन वन लेग. His house is adjacent to mosque. His house is adjacent, adjacent, adjacent to the mosque. He is vested with great power. Great power. Hard work is indispensable for success. Indispensable for success. She is vain of her beauty. Vain of her beauty. He goes to school on foot. School on foot. I inquired after his health. I inquired after his health. He begged for mercy. Begged for mercy. He is fit for this post. He is fit for this post. Look at the blackboard. Look at the blackboard. He is sorry for what he did. Sorry for. He is sorry for what he did. The boy throws stone at the dog. The boy threw stone at the dog. I am obliged to you. Obliged to you. He did not wait for me. He did not wait for me. He repented of his sins. He repented of his sins. Repented of. He is hostile to whale. Ali is fond of playing cards. Fond of. Ali is fond of playing cards. He is suffering from malaria. Suffering from. I congratulate you on your success. Congratulate on your success. He is traveling by road. It is better to write in ink. It is better to write in ink. The Muslims believe in one Allah. The Muslims believe in one Allah. Hard work is indispensable for success. Indispensable for. Do not envious of others. Envious of. ENVIOUS. Envious of. Do not envious of others. Ali is blessed with good health. Ali is blessed with good health. Beware of pickpockets. Lysozyme has no harmful effect on leukocytes. Lysozyme has no harmful effect on the leukocytes. Do not confide in a fool. Confide in. Do not confide in a fool. We have to account for our misdeeds. Our misdeeds. We should stand by our friends. Stand by. We should stand by our friends. I have persuaded him into helping you. I have persuaded him into. Persuaded him into helping you. Newspaper inform us of the latest situation. Newspapers inform us of the latest situation. Inform of the latest situation. Rabia is proud of her beauty. Rabia is proud of her beauty. All the guests complained about the noise. All the guests complained about the noise. Put it into your pocket. Do not look down upon the poor. Look down upon. Keep off smoking. OFF. Keep off smoking. Keep off smoking. He is addicted to gambling. He is addicted to gambling. He will not turn down my request. Turn down. He will not turn down my request. He is. What is time by your watch? What is time by your watch? Death is preferable to disgrace. Death is preferable to disgrace. Kashi feels inclined to serve others. Kashi feels inclined to serve others. Do not meddle with my affairs. Meddle with my affairs. He is blind in one eye. The leader was banished to a foreign country. The leader was banished to a foreign country. The thief was charged with theft. Dwell at a place away from here. They dwell at a place away from here. They dwell at a place away from here. We must abide by the laws of our country. We must abide by the laws of our country. Do not be jealous of others. Do not be jealous of. Our college is adjacent to the bazaar. Adjacent to. He is a selfish man is slave to his desires. A selfish man is slave to his desires. The thief broke into his house yesterday. Broke into his house yesterday. His failures was very contrary to his expectations. Contrary to his expectations. His failures was contrary to his expectations. Do not jeer at the poor. Do not jeer at. He was not aware of the new situation. He was not aware of the new situation. Keep the theft. Keep to the left. Keep to the left. Eggs are sold by the dozen. Eggs are sold by the dozen. ही दिस इज़ पेनफुल फॉर मी एंड टू मी, इन ये दोनों इसमें फिट हो सकते हैं. दिस इज़ पेनफुल फॉर मी, पेनफुल टू एंड पेनफुल फॉर मी. डू नॉट इंटरफेयर विथ और इंटरफेयर इन माई अफेयर्स. डू नॉट इंटरफेयर विथ और इंटरफेयर इन और विथ दोनों आ सकते हैं. दिस मैन स्मेल्स of onion. Smells of onion. This man smells of onion. The Muslims fought for their independence. The Muslims fought for their independence. A Muslim always prays to Allah. He was offended at my suggestion. Offended, offended. He was offended at my suggestion. A selfish man is slave of and slave to his duties. दोनों आ सकते हैं, slave of भी और slave to भी. A selfish man is slave of या slave to his duties. He is in want of physical strength. He is in want of. He turned pale with terror. He turned pale with terror. He was absorbed in studies. He was absorbed in studies. He was absorbed in studies. Do not look down upon the poor. The princess was married to the hero. Princess was married to the hero. Married to the hero. He was very kind to animals. Kind to animals. I was late for office today. Late for. I was late for office today. She was leaning against the pillar. Leaning against the pillar. All are answerable to God. All are answerable to God. The judge has acquitted him of the charges. The judge has acquitted him of the charges. He congratulated me on my success. Congratulate on. He congratulated me on my success. He left for Islamabad by train. He left for Islamabad by train. Left by. He left for Islamabad by train. My brother is good at mathematics. Good at. My brother is good at mathematics. Charity begins at home. I availed myself of the chance. Availed of. The child was dressed in red. Dressed in red. The child was dressed in red. You are getting late for. You are getting late for college. I am popular with my brothers. I am popular with my brothers. My friend acceded to my request. Acceded to my request. Acceded to. He takes after his father. He takes after his father. I met him on the way. Nature is not hostile to man. Nature is not hostile to man. Sewage is carried through pipelines. Pipelines. It is impossible to come back within a week. It is impossible to come back within a week. He is lame in one leg. Lame in one leg. Keep to the left. Keep to the left. He availed himself of the opportunity. Availed of. He availed himself of the opportunity. The police opened the fire on the demonstrators. Police opened the fire on the demonstrators. The king was well informed about different subjects. Well informed about different subjects. The king was well informed about different subjects. Next question है, we congratulate you on passing examination. Congratulate on we congratulate you on passing the examination. A pen is to write with. A pen is to write with. We are tired of this long movie. Tired of we are tired of this long movie. He has repeated your story word for word. He has repeated your story word for word. He has repeated your story word for word. No one can part her from her husband. Part from. No one can part her from her husband. Rabia takes pride in her beauty. Pride in her beauty. Can you rely on me in this matter? Rely on. He is ignorant of his demerits. Ignorant of his demerits. He presided over the meeting. Presided over. He is blind in one eye. Blind in. Beware of pickpockets. Beware of. He is fit for this job. Fit for this job. I prefer tea to coffee. Prefer to. I prefer tea to coffee. He was shivering with cold. He was shivering with cold. His sickness confined him to bed. Confined to. His sickness confined him to bed. Everybody craves for wealth. Craves for wealth. He is supposed to be proficient in English. Proficient in English. You can hardly dispense with this book. Dispense with. You can hardly dispense with this book. He was deprived of his reputation. Deprived of his reputation. He is void of wisdom. Void of. Void of wisdom. He is void of wisdom. The brave do not yield to enemy. Yield to the enemy. Salim introduced Ali to me. Introduced to. Hina is sure of her success. Sure of her success. He has no taste for music. Taste for music. He has no taste for music. Ahmed takes after his father. I prefer mangoes to apples. I prefer mangoes to apples. Smoking is injurious to health. She is proud of her beauty. Proud of her beauty. I inquire after his health. Inquire after his health. He called on the principal in his office. Called on. He called on the principal in his office. The hunter aimed his gun at the lion. The hunter aimed his gun at the lion. Your approach to this problem is wrong. I adhere to my own principle. I shall abide by my promise. Abide by my promise. The room is adorned with beautiful painting. The room is adorned. ADORNED. The room is adorned with beautiful painting. She is accomplished in singing. Accomplished in singing. Aslam is blind in one eye. Blind in. Are you annoyed at my performance? Annoyed at. Are you annoyed at my performance? She was disappointed at her failure. Disappointed at her failure. He is endowed with great qualities. Endowed with. endowed with great qualities. Sheep live on grass. Sheep live on grass. May Allah preserve us from all evils. Preserve from. May Allah preserve us from all evils. He agreed to what I said. Agreed to what I said. Zakat must be dealt out fairly. Dealt out fairly. Zakat must be dealt out fairly. He is with fever. Ill with fever. He is fond of sweets. Fond of sweets. Do not look down upon the poor. Look down upon the poor. He was absorbed in studies. He was absorbed in studies. The thief into his house. Broke into his house yesterday. He inquired into the matters. Inquired into the matter. He died of cholera. He died of cholera. You should attend to your work. You should attend to your work. Attend to your work. He is not mindful of my duty. Mindful of. He is not mindful of my duty. He burst into tears. He burst into tears. Death is preferable to disgrace. Preferable to. Death is preferable to disgrace. He was astonished at the sudden arrival of his friend. Astonished at. He was astonished at the sudden arrival of his friend. I met him on the way. I met him on the way. The divorce was painful for both of men. The divorce was painful for both of them. His house is adorned with flower. His house is adorned, adorned with. His house is adorned with flowers. I am not blind to my weakness. I am not blind to my weakness. They robbed of his money. They robbed of him of his money. Robbed of. He robbed how they robbed him of his money. Aslam was charged with theft. Aslam was charged with. Lahore is famous for its colleges. Famous for. Some people are hostile to social reforms. Hostile to. The rain prevented me from. The rain prevented me from reaching the college. Prevented from. The rain prevented me from reaching the college. I always excelled in his work. He always excelled in his work. Excelled in. He always excelled in his work. He is true to his words. True to. He is true to his words. He was furious. About भी आता है और at भी आता है. He was furious at my mistake. He was furious about my mistake. Furious और at दोनों आ सकते हैं. He was furious at my mistake. I inquired after his health. Inquired after his health. He lives in Lahore. Lives in Lahore. They built a bridge over the river. They built a bridge over the river. When you came, I was going to college. When you came, I was going to college. Do not abstain from voting. Do not abstain from voting. I shall meet you at the airport. Meet at. I shall meet you at the airport. He is tired of his routine. Tired of. Tired. Tired of his routine. Of this routine. I do not agree to. I do not agree to your proposal. The fox jumped into the river. The fox jumped into the river. We must prefer death to dishonor. Prefer to. We must prefer death to dishonor. Take care of your health. Take care of. Take care of your health. Food is necessary for life. Necessity for life. He is a lecturer in English. Lecturer in English. He is a lecturer in English. Hard work is the key to success. Smoking is harmful to health. Smoking is harmful to health. Cats differ from differ from cats differ from dog in shape. He is not entitled to vote. Entitled to vote. He comes of a noble family. He comes of a noble family. He parted from his friends. Parted from his friends. No one should be ignorant of law. No one should be ignorant of law. He is proficient in English. He is proficient in. Please give up smoking. He will not turn down my request. Turn down my request. What is time by your watch? Time by what is time by your watch? He was accused of theft. Do not laugh at the poor. Do not laugh at the poor. He is burdened with a large family. No one likes to deal with a dishonest person. A dishonest person. It is easy to accustom oneself to bad habits. It is easy to oneself to accustom to. It is easy to accustom oneself to bad habits. The orphans yearn for love and sympathy. Yearn for love and sympathy. Do not judge others by do not judge others by their weakness. Take care of your health. Care of your health. He writes in blue ink. Take care of your health. Care of. He writes in blue ink. Do not boast of your riches. Do not boast of your riches. Please abstain from smoking. Please abstain from smoking. She is proficient in English. My friend acceded to my request. Acceded to my request. Charity begins at home. Do not jeer at the poor. Jeer at the poor. His failure was contrary to his expectations. Contrary to. Do not be jealous of others. Do not be jealous of others. He congratulated me on my success. He congratulated me on my success. He backed out of his promise. Backed out of his promise. He is fond of sweets. He caught me by the neck. He caught me by the neck. He is anxious for the examination result. They have inquired after your health. Inquired after your health. You may count on my help. In this matter. Count on. You may count on my help in this matter. थैंक यू सो मच. कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो ज़रूर पूछिए.